Good evening and welcome to The Forecast, the show where we bring you news before it happens. I'm Jack Carney. Tonight, we're predicting Greek bombings in Queensland, more financial mayhem for investors, and a shock career switch for Cardinal George Pell. Find out what Cardi P's been up to in an all-new Oracle exclusive. But first, before we dive too deeply into the week that will be, let's revisit all we got wrong in the week that was, with the retractions. Last week, we predicted that power couple Elon Musk and Grimes would be officially forced to change the name of their baby from this to something far more humane. Of course, we got that wrong. They've changed it to something far less humane. This. Poor thing. Last week, we predicted that Josh Thomas from ABC2's aptly named program Please Like Me would be the first TV personality to attempt a comeback on the back of a block of cheese after taking to Twitter to draw attention to the brand named Coon. As it turns out, he's not the first to try this. Take a look at this disturbing image of former bad boy Corey Worthington attempting a similar feat on Nine's Ninja Warrior.
There'll be people right around the country saying, oh, I remember Corey Worthington.
Became famous overnight.
And finally, last week we predicted that COVID-19 would, despite some strong competition, remain the biggest story of 2020. Then the Today Show's Brendan Jones broke this.
I think kids have never understood the value of money. My daughter, case in point, about, I reckon 10 years ago, she says, oh, can I go and buy some lunch? So I said, sure. I've only got $50 in my wallet. So I give her $50 and then she comes back and I said, well, where's my change? She said, oh, there's no change. Oh. I said, well, what did you eat? She said, I just ate some sushi. I'm eating a toasted sandwich that I've made at home out of leftover bread from the freezer. She's spending $50 on sushi.
Frankly, I'm blown away. COVID-19 has left many of us a little soft around the middle, so as gyms reopen, more people are heading over than ever before. But that means we need more PTs. So what does a world where anyone can be a personal trainer look like? Walter Widebottom has more.
I want everything you've got today.
This is Sydney trainer Pete E. Evans.
I've been a personal trainer for about 3 days now. I've always been a bit of a fitness fanatic, but it's one of those things, isn't it? You've just got to have the time.
Time is something Pete E. Evans isn't short on.
Technically, I'm on an extended holiday because I've given myself the year off. Yeah, no, I'm my own boss. I work for myself. You know, answer to no man. That type of thing.
Are you unemployed?
Oh, depends who you ask. Don't ask me. I won't tell you.
Are you?
Yeah. See that? See what I'm doing there? You get that. Oh, I definitely work better with women. You know, training women is my preference, if I'm honest. I think there's just a natural chemistry there, to be honest. My sister, my daughter, all three of my wives, all women, you know, so I've got experience there. But I won't say no to training a bloke, mind you, you know.
Keep your back straight.
One of the things I like to do with the younger fellas is get them focusing on flexibility.
I'd never know the guy. He showed up a couple of days ago, asked if I wanted a free training session. I said no, but obviously that word doesn't mean anything to him.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.
Despite his professionalism, Pete says he knows his place and is careful never to be too hard on a client.
A good PT is a friend first, PT second. You know, I'll push you hard, but that doesn't mean we can't go to the milk bar for a couple of hot crisps.
The guy's a flat out creep. He keeps asking me if I want to jump in the sauna with him or just go in without towels. I don't want to do a sauna with you, mate. I just want to train. I'm at the gym, please.
Yes. Success.
That's the PT guarantee.
What's the E stand for?
Wouldn't you like to know?
He told me it stands for erection.
His methods may be unusual, but one thing is clear. It'll take more than a pandemic to put this PT out of action.
Innovation.
Walter Widebottom, The Forecast.
It's time for the big news, where we predict the biggest stories in world news this week. Joining me this evening is the biggest person I could find. It's Ronald Rump from the Boonah Times. Mr. Rump, Good evening.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Jack.
What can viewers expect in the breaking news space this week?
Well, it's not good, Jack.
No?
No.
When is it ever?
Exactly.
But materially, what can we expect?
In general?
No, specifically.
Specifically what?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
A tsunami, Jack.
A tsunami? A big tsunami?
Well, there's no such thing as a small tsunami, Jack.
Of course. What coast is going to be most affected?
Well, none of them.
None of them?
Well, no, it won't be a coastal tsunami, Jack. I'd say it'd probably hover around Lakemba.
Carl Asfor's the current mayor of Canterbury Bankstown. What's he likely to say about all this?
Well, nothing, Jack. This is well above Asfor's pay grade. This one's going to go all the way to the head honcho.
Oh, the Prime Minister?
Well, no, this goes well beyond the PM, Jack.
Who's higher than the Prime Minister?
The Minister for Tsunamis.
As the Minister for Tsunamis, I'd like to clarify the government's position on this whole tsunami fiasco.
Which is?
Well, we don't like them.
The tsunamis?
Yes, the government is strictly anti-tsunami and we'd like to be represented as such.
Right, well, we've got time for one more. What's the biggest thing that'll happen in world news this week?
Greek bombings.
Greek bombings?
Greek bombing.
Greek bombings?
Greek bombing.
I need you to stop.
The Greeks are going to drop a whole lot of bombs on us.
Us?
Well, just Queensland, actually.
Any particular reason? Well, I suppose I could give them a few. What'll the Queensland Premier have to say about all this?
Nothing, Jack.
Not her department?
Well, no, she'll be mute, Jack. Those bombs do terrible things to your ears.
So she'll be deaf, not mute.
Same thing.
Is it?
Well, to a Polly, yes. No point talking if you can't hear yourself. Most of the time, you're the only one listening.
Ronald Rump, thank you for joining me. It's time now for a traffic report, and the Oracle joins me live. Oracle, as I understand it, it's going to be bumper to bumper on Sydney roads this week.
That's right, Jack. The M4 is going to be fairly busy. The same goes for the M7 and M5. You got your cars, your 3-car pile-ups, your buses, your trucks. Not looking good.
Oracle, I can see from the vision on screen that there's a collapsed house behind you now. What can you tell me about that?
Behind me now?
But behind you right now, if you were to turn around, you'd see it.
What does that have to do with traffic?
Well, nothing. I just thought it might be interesting to...
Well, that's above my pay grade, Jack. If you want to talk about collapsed houses, either give me a raise or talk to someone else.
Okay then. To finance now, it's time to find out what market movement we can expect in the week to come. I'm joined by part-time weather guru and full-time economist, Mr. Samuel Sadface. Now, Sammy, I know you're a fan of the S&P 500. Should we expect an uptick there this week?
Probably not, Jack. That would require something good to happen to me, and I wouldn't bet on it.
Right. Of course, last week you said that when CBA stock crashed...
Crashed?
Yes, I believe you said that...
Just like my marriage.
What?
Don't get a prenup, they said. Love lasts forever, they said. It's all a lie, Jack.
Yes, but with Combank stock, you'd imagine that...
Custody.
Sorry?
There's another lie, Jack. Haven't seen me bloody kids in months. The last time I felt the warm touch of another person's skin was on the train where the conductor touched my arm and he asked to see my ticket.
What would your advice be to CBA investors looking
And I didn't have it. 240's a lot to ask when you're struggling for rent, and dinner's a never-ending toss-up between baked beans and bloody what your roommates left in the fridge.
We've had some younger investors writing in, Sammy, wanting your advice on how to make a buck in 2020. What could you tell them?
You can do some terrible things for a 50, Jack. I've sold my body.
Jesus Christ.
You ever heard of a rustic?
Now, not every index has fallen though, Sammy, has it? Of course, the Japanese index...
Japanese? My wife was Japanese.
Your wife's Korean.
Oh, why are we splitting hairs, Jack?
Mr. Sadface, thank you for joining me. Time for a little shameless cross-network promotion now, and let's find out what Kappa's forecasting is on the menu this week in Kappa's Kitchen.
Oh, we're back in Kappa's kitchen, and he's cooking up a storm. Kappa, what are you cooking? Will it keep us nice and warm? Kappa.
Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Kappa's Kitchen with me, Kappa. Today, I'll be making a fan favourite, my everyday healthy porridge. Simple, nutritious, and lip-smacking delicious. This is how I make my favourite meal in 3 easy steps. Step 1, get yourself a kitchen. I'm using my own kitchen today, but you can use whatever you've got lying around the house. Step 2, make your porridge. How to make porridge? It's actually not that hard. Add 1 cup of oats to 2 cups of water. It's important to pick your oats when they're at their driest, as dry oats and wet water is a winning combination. And remember, if you're counting calories like myself, water is a great substitute for milk.
Okay, we're rolling.
Oh, we're rolling. Combine your oat water mixture in a bowl and whisk until it forms a paste, or until it gets creepy. So into the saucepan she goes, lid on, and over to the stove. Turn the hob, not your knob. It's important to remember that, because one time when I was in Vegas, step 3, lift the lid and enjoy the fruits of your labour. So there you have it, guys, my super simple 3-step porridge. A cracking brekkie that you can enjoy with the whole family. See you next time, guys, on Kappa's Kitchen. Back to you in the studio, Jack.
Keep us nice and warm. Kappa.
He's my favourite. The country's most senior-ranking Catholic Cardinal Pell was acquitted of sexual abuse charges in April, and since that time he's remained fairly quiet in isolation. We're predicting that's all about to change, thanks to a shock career switch that will see George Pell transition into the junior retail sector with Pell's Doodle, the Cardinal's very own board game. The Oracle is live outside the Good Shepherd Seminary in Homebush with details.
That's right, Jack. The Cardinals' very own board game is set to be released in stores in the coming weeks. The game in question essentially operates within the exact same frameworks and rules as Pictionary, in which the player draws a small graphic on a whiteboard and people have to guess what that graphic is under time conditions. It's unclear at this stage why the game can't simply be called Pictionary.
Can we expect a statement from the Cardinal coinciding with the release of the board game?
Not a statement as such, Jack, no. The Cardinal has issued a warning to parents, though, stating that their guidance is strictly prohibited. And he's recommending that in the interest of safety, Pell's Doodle should only be played with by children aged 12 and under. Now, Jack, I'm joined by the Cardinal now. We were due to speak over Zoom, but he's informed me that his webcam is currently not working, so we have had to settle for a phone call. Cardinal, are you there? Now, George, I hope you don't mind if I call you George. How are your preparations for the release of the board game?
These things have to be tested respectfully.
Do you think this game will compete with the likes of Monopoly, Uno and the ever-popular Saddle Club, the board game?
Oh, there's no doubt about it whatsoever.
Have you had a chance to trial the board game at all?
I remember when I was in England, we were preparing some young English boys.
For the board game?
No.
George, you've broken into the board game market. Are there any plans of switching the medium to, say, a graphic novel or a picture book?
Now, that's an entirely different situation. One of the things I've become a bit interested in is pedophilia. I don't know how you explain it, but it is certainly extraordinary.
I'm sure prison was a testing time for you, George. Do you keep in touch with any of the former inmates and have they played the board game?
I wouldn't be entirely surprised, but who knows? That's their business.
Well, I guess they're not in the target market. Thank you for your time, George. Back to you in the studio, Jack.
To society and culture now, and I can reveal that next Friday, no fewer than 10,000 Australian men will simultaneously have the same bright idea. Take a look.
Boyd the dummy half. Milford the first receiver. A ball for Lodge. He comes to...
Should have passed it.
That's what she said.
Classic.
Get him on, ref.
That's what she said.
Classic. God, you're funny.
Cheers.
Oi.
What?
You know what we should do?
What?
We should start a podcast. We should start a podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would we talk about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. It'll just be like us having a beer and having a chat. You know, bit of blokey pub chat.
Like Triple M?
Yeah, but without as much in excess.
That's never been done before.
Yeah, it has.
What do you mean?
It's happening right now.
Holy guacamole.
Right.
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 What about special guests?
What about special guests?
Oh my God.
Right.
It writes itself.
The first 3 would just be mates, obviously.
Got to start somewhere.
But episode 4, we go hard in the paint.
Yep.
And we'll get, God. Who's that Muslim chick who won all the Nobel Peace Prizes?
Moana.
Her.
Oh man, this is going to be good. I think my brother's actually got a couple of mics. He can come around, give us a hand. It'll be good.
What, tonight?
Yeah, we got nothing else to do.
You know, it's just we said we'd watch Fast and Furious 15 tonight.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
We can start tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll start tomorrow. You reckon they made too many of those movies?
Hey! Save it for the podcast.
It's time for the weather with Samuel Sadface. Sammy, what have the skies got in store for us this week?
Miserable, Jack. Every day is gonna be miserable.
I don't know about that. Wednesday's top of 28 and Friday doesn't look half bad either.
What's the weather got to do with my mood?
All right. You're the expert. What are you seeing when you look at that chart?
Well, I'm working Monday to Friday with you. Saturday, my rent's due.
Hang on. No. The Oracle told me before you'll be up to no good Sunday. What's happening Sunday?
Vasectomy.
And on that note, it's time for sport. I'm joined now by Sydney Morning Herald chief sport reporter, Mr. Andrew the Fever Febster. Feb, how are you?
Evening, Jack, and what a splendid evening we have before us.
What's coming up this weekend in the sporting universe?
Boy, am I glad you asked that, Jack. I've got some real cracking predictions for you. Some real fever exclusives. So keep them to yourself, because you won't get them anywhere else. Ooh, ha, rat-ta-ta-ta.
That's what I like to hear. What's your first prediction?
X marks the spot. Sherry's fall from grace. That's right, Jack. I'm predicting Cronulla Sharks speedster Bronson Sherry will test positive.
Sorry to cut you off there, Andrew. Actually, that's already happened.
Really?
Yeah, quite a while ago, actually.
Oh.
Not to worry. What's your second prediction?
Oh, this one's a cracker, Jack.
Looking forward to it.
Mayweather vs McGregor. It's a done deal, says the fever. Oos, 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 ra-ta-ta-ta-ta, soo-soo-soo-see.
Again, sorry, Andrew. That's definitely already happened.
Oh, well, hang on. I've got more. Kathy Freeman?
No.
Stephen Bradbury?
Nope.
Mark Philippou?
Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah? We'll smear this one on the old Jets crackers.
Oh.
A Polynesian high school student by the name of Faleti Monomatagi will next week accept a GPS musical scholarship for his genuine music ability, and not as a front for his prolific meterage on the rugby field.
Now, we've heard this one before.
Let me finish. Monomatagi will next month perform Bach's Little Fugue in G minor at his bassoon recital. There'll be plenty of bickies, hot tea, and satisfied parents once the old fever hooks into him, eh? Hey.
That is new, yeah.
Sorry to butt in, Jack. I'd love to bounce off some sporting rumours that I'm hearing out in the field here while you have the Fever Feb on.
If it's fine with Andrew, it's fine with me.
Not a problem, son. Always happy to give the young journo a little leg up.
He's brilliant.
Andrew, can you speak to rumours that Peter V'landys will be the next NRL CEO?
Oh, yes,
Nothing on that one?
Come on, Andrew.
No, I actually
What
do.
about rumours that Ben Cousins is set to make a shock AFL return after his stint in the Thailand rehab facility?
Ben Cousins?
Ben?
Can't speak to that?
Well, the thing with Ben is...
You got anything on that, Fever?
Oracle, you need to give him a chance to
What
explain.
you got to understand...
Well, I'm also hearing rumblings, Andrew, that Sam Kerr will captain the female Chelsea soccer team. Can you speak to that at all?
Fever?
Yes, of course, I can offer some insight into the Sam Kerr situation.
Oh, finally.
Well, obviously you can't because I've just made that up.
What?
All right, Oracle, I think we've heard enough.
Can you speak to the rumours that you're an unhygienic pig and a known homophobe in the office?
Fever?
That's not true. Some of my best
Can you
friends
speak to the rumours that you once used the N-word while online gaming?
Where would you even have heard that?
Club Penguin ring a bell?
Now, hang on a minute.
I'm also being told that you once slept with a miner. Can you confirm that?
What?
A coal miner? You scumbag?
Oracle.
Because quite frankly, mate, you're a hack of a reporter. You have no journalistic integrity whatsoever. Why would anyone want your opinion on anything, let alone sports? You coward.
Fever. No, he's gone. He's gone. The best way to get rid of a fever, it seems, is a little old-fashioned bullying. If only we'd known it in March. That's the end of our broadcast this evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you're heading back to the gym this week, stay clear of PT Evans. And if you've got a child's birthday coming up, we think it's best to stick with Monopoly. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the forecast.
Never tried the chocolate ones before.
They're good.
Oh. Maybe I should try one.